How y'all doing? So today, let me see. Wow, why is this coming out like that? Okay, why is it? Mm, okay, there we go. So today I'm gonna be talking about dimensional trajectory spectrum of the light codes of the energy field. So I'm gonna be talking about the 36 chambers of dimensions. Okay, and also the way that they use these dimensions against us. So let's start with this board first here. In this board, we all have the projection of our goals or aspirations, presenting energy, right? And these energies are impacting the way we feel, the emotions, and the thoughts that we currently have. That's what we call consciousness. All right. And this consciousness rides on what is called the emotional scales. Either we become extroverted or introverted in this universal energy that is coming to us on our left feminine side. And on the opposite of that is the masculine side, which our emotions either intensifies and going inwards to intensity or is going outwards to mild. And that is when our energy of negativity leaving the body that we don't know like. However, what these people have done to us as far as capture our dimensional projective light spectrum of the energy field is they made us put on a mask. Okay, and this mask is who we consider ourselves to be because we're about public persona. We're about the physical world. So these elite people have entrapped many of us by making us as actors in a theater. This earth is the theater to them, and we are the acting pieces. So we put on these masks. The person becomes fully identified with their mask, their persona. But it is as if there is no one behind the mask. So what happens is we're fighting against these two forces. You see Bose and Jekyll? We're fighting against the black versus the white, or the white versus the black. But what's interesting is that there's aliens. Some of us call them Anunnaki, some of us call them demons, devils, jinns, you name it. What they've done in this world is made, especially the brown skinned black people, fight against themselves, then manifested the Caucasian race, which haven't been long on this planet, and created them to do the biddings for them. You know, the fear tactics, the control tactics, how they infiltrated us, how they have used our empathy against us, and how they change our belief system, our religion, our way of life. So these entities has used the Urugos as their tools of destruction, manipulation, bloodshed, and chaos, right? And what they have done is that the Urugos are yang, dominantly masculine, and they think about is their personal persona. Their they energy is recently used and being released, but they're more about respect. You better respect who we are or die. So they're very physical, and their energy of the current state is matter, materialism, form. Okay? And they entrapped us with the fourth dimensional projection called time, which is a current, it flows. But the four also equals the cross. Okay? It also equals the square, which is the spatial perception that they put us in, to which is the cube. And you can see the skull, you can see the cross, and then they turn us into a moonard, Then they turn us into a black hole, and then they turn us into what is called the black sun, which the Nazis talk about. And we know that Ephesians 6 and 12 says we do not fight against flesh and blood, but against rulers who practice black arts, who also follow demons, and these demons follow Lucifer. Now, what they have done in a whole is they took light photons, okay, and they shot them towards us to activate or stimulate our 24 cranium nerve systems, which produce a DMT. And that DMT did two things. One, it made us whole things, giving them the fingerprint of God, so to speak. And two, it made us project their world. How did they do it? It's fantastic how they did it. And they used the system of 343. But they use the same numbers we do to create this world that they have us under. See, we don't realize when they tell us to read from right to left, what they are doing is they are taking the intensity of our emotions, heighten our suggestibility, and making us fight against the universal energy, which is the creative force, through our throat and through our heart. This is how you perceive yourself. So they have dominated us by the masculine, but they are using the feminine energy. But they actually going after the children. Because right now they killed the man. They figured the mans are dead. The mans would never come together. They are too stuck on their own self, their public persona, to understand the feminine aspect of unity. You see, they will never understand the receptive, the passiveness, energy used to create future states, the subconscious, the action, the decisions, the imaginative state, the energy you are allowing in. So therefore, what they do is a projection of the black energy and the black woman, but in fact, they want to get to the kid. And because they come from the right to the left, they kind of like hijack our consciousness like a parasite. And that's the impact of our feelings, our emotions, and our thoughts, because they project the form of the mask. So you see how they talk about Nikola Tesla with the 369. Well, if this frequencies plus vibrations equal energy, look at this. It goes from 9 to 18 to 18 to 27 to 36 light codes. Now, when we come to this board here, right, we see the 36 light codes, which is the 36 chambers or chakras of the dimensions from the third to the seventh dimension. So what have they done? Well, Dr. Julian Pukin, thank her, talk about the seven brain circuitry. So this is what they do. They have did something called surf diversity, and it conceals the underlining of our unity. How? By dual photons, electromagnetic frequency of the consciousness. So they have converged the I into the artificial we by the light spectrum, which blinds us, and by sound. So when you come over here on the fifth dimension, is plutonium and crystals. They realize our third eye is a crystal lens, the pituitary gland, that is projected from the pineal gland, which is the seat or throne of God as they know it. So what they have done is locked us down on the third dimension, because There's 7 major chakras. We know that. But guess what? In the third dimension, it's actually 8. And they took that extra 8 chakra, which is called blue light. Okay? And what they did with that blue light, they did the blue light, blue, white light, and red. And you know that's the color of the banner, right? Red, white, and blue. Why is that color? Because that is the third dimension color, which works on our brain circuitry. It keeps us at the lower chakras. And what they have done is they have used, especially the melanated people, has used our energy as a moonard, as a black sun, as a battery. So we are really lost in ways. Why? Because they keep us on the 7 major chakras. There's 114 chakras. Do you know that? Most of y'all don't know that. Like y'all don't know it's 13 sephiroths in the tree of life. Y'all don't know like it's 114 chakras. But would you ever know that? No. So they keep us on below the 8th. That's why they use 88. Because 88 is the blue white light frequency. It's the takeover of our brain and body. See, it's the light color code frequency. It goes just like that. E3 makes an 8. So they alter our consciousness by light photons. They keep us in the biblical cord, the dense form, and then they utilize our silver cord, which is our energy form of the 6th dimension. Now I want you to think about that. And in the 3rd dimension, they got us down to number 1. We the red, we're down with the root chakra. And why is that? Because the material plane always equals blood energy. That's why they do a lot of blood sacrifices, including the Christ concept. Meaning the iron is draining, right? They're draining our iron from our body by alchemy applications. They're absorbing our energy from the 3rd and the 4th dimension, people. And when you think about it, 3 and 4, right? Now, on the 3 and 4, if you add it up, there's 1, 2, and 3 and 4th dimension, which is also the 4th brain circuitry, which talk about sexual and social circulation. So it keeps us on what is called a primate state. And they do it by the tree of life. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 10. That's the tree of knowledge, though. But they project it as if it was the tree of life. That's why they leave the 10 sephiroths and they don't tell you about knowledge, love, and detachment. Because they are created in dense form. All they realize is the pleasure, the cause, and effect. They don't understand will, free will. They don't and will never understand it. Now, by them putting us into the tree of knowledge, that's the mask that we wear, they have put us into what is called a duality photonic electromagnetic field illusional word or world. You know, Tuckum alum. How can we prepare the world, if it's actually a word that they have instilled in us? Now, on the 4th dimension, they keep us in what is called time looping and jumping. Okay? On the 5th element, what they use is our crystal eyes to see their vision. So they are looking through us. And they utilize our 6th energy. But you know we have the 7, which is the sun, right? And we have the gold on the circle, right? That's why we like gold, because it equals the sun children. Gold is us, remember. People, we are the emulation of the Creator, and the creation respects by serving the Creator's will, covenant, and agreement. Do you see it? Okay, so interesting. It is the sixth element, and the six equals carbon, which equals black and brown, and this is the carbon 12. That makes the 6 plus 6 plus 6, which is 18, which come back to the 9. And you go over here, and you will see that on the fourth dimension of social and sexual, here's the brain. The 44 is 4 lobes on both sides plus the 2 hemisphere. That equals 8 on 44 plus the 2 equals 10, which means what? You got the tree of life and you got the number 8. Remember what I told you about the number 8, what they do to it. You see it right there? Now that equals 18, but 1 plus 8 equals 9. So it's the end all be all. So how do they do it? Easily. They put us under the spell, okay? And notice I got Kobe Bryant there. Why? Because Kobe Bryant was the beginning sacrifice of the melanated people and transferring their melanin into the artificial intelligent world. So they used the seal called the 32 seal and Solomon. And what this means, it's a sigil, first of all, and it means making your words be heard in heaven, respect. And remember how I did this right here. Respect. That's the 3, 4, 3. That is the tree of life that they draw, which is the 10 emulations. So if you look over here, that's 3 and 2, right? So that's 5. 5 is actually this sign right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see? The Metta Yoga. See that? And it's also in Africa called the urinal. So what do they have done? And that's the universal circle. That's the golden ratio within us. So what have they done? They have altered our solar system within us. That's why they talk about Solomon. Okay? And we respect their covenant and agreement, and they don't respect ours. You know why? Because in the Quran, they take on the embodiment of Iblis. They don't want to respect us. They don't even respect nature because they hate everything that we touched. But they want our bodies. Do you understand what that means? So on their plane, they have altered our consciousness and they use red, which is the root chakra, right? But a long time ago, there was no colors for the chakras. So on the material plane, it equals what is called the blood energy. So they always have to sacrifice red blood, right? Red blood for blue blood. So that means that in your world, now they have accepted you. But, you know, the interesting thing about what they have done is that they went through the dimensions. And each dimension has 7 chakras. But guess what? It's 114 chakras. But all they're dealing with is the major chakras. So, which are the major archives. So here's the deal. They want us to believe what is called the black children, okay, what the Nazis use, okay? And if you look on the left side, basically what they're doing is trying to convert the white into the black and make the black screwed up and create what is called a moonard, which is the black sun. So basically, they have the energy of the black people, the force of the black people, but they are not black. So people, be awakened to the esoteric methods that these people are using against us have discipline, discernment, and unity in the community of thought for you. I leave y'all with that. Peace out. And watch out for the conversion from black to white or white to black and the moonard in it. Take care.